All right. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, April 28th, almost the end of the month. We're taking a look at NQ here. Looks like it's bumping into that prior day high, pressing the overnight high, trading up into 19,570. Main focus for this morning is how price responds to that prior day high and 19,600 level of interest. The most impactful level here, the most important level in the near and intermediate term is the 19,350. There's that breakout point from Friday session, breakout of that intermediate term range. Now up and through that pivot. So we want to see our buyers going to be able to show any continuation for today. Now, given that Friday was an expansion day, it's very possible that we see some compression for today's session, especially with pretty much nothing on the economic calendar. Maybe it may be a little bit slower. So keep that in mind. We'll be keeping an eye on volume for this morning, seeing how that volume is looking, seeing what kind of audience we're actually getting into the market, seeing who wants to participate there. But it should be a pretty straightforward morning as far as the main watch. And Q getting into that prior day high. So for prior day high, I look at the actual regular trading hours, which is going to be about 19,563 or so. Got about 2 minutes till the open here. Looks like you had a nice bounce versus VWAP there on NQ this morning. One minute till the open. All right, comes out open. 20 seconds or so. Let's see what we're working with this morning. There's your open. Kind of in no man's land here for the moment. No gap whatsoever. NQ into that prior day high, overnight high just overhead, 570 area. So a little blip above that overnight high. ES looked pretty good there, Dom, versus the prior day high. I didn't have my eyes on that. Looking at NQ here, reaction to that prior day high area, overnight high. Yeah, right into the lows. We've got very good volume so far this morning. That's good to see. It's always encouraging. NASDAQ new low of day. Got the new lows being made. 19,500 is your downside level of interest if you shorted that up thrust there, the overnight high. You're looking for 500 now. You got VWAP down here. What is that? 491. Right there with the session volume point of control. Extended hours, of course. Trailed the short there. Nicely done, man. Okay, NQ down here into 500. See if this area fails. Really, it's just that overnight low next up. Overnight lows down at 392. And then the more important level of interest at 350 that we just talked about a moment ago. See if buyers have any interest in this area. Opening 5-minute bar, quite bearish to start the morning. So far, buyers finding some interest there at VWAP and the level of interest. What's our fib looking like? So 50% fib is 531. You got ES bouncing versus the prior day high. That was a good call down. NQ right back into the lows. New low of day there for NASDAQ. So not even into that 50% fib. Sellers reload at the 38. Volume definitely tapered down. See what kind of structure builds out right here. You got YM on its own, session highs for the Dow. And if I remember correctly, no 10 a.m. data this morning, at least that I know of. Let's check the notes. Yeah, no data this morning. So you got a little structure building out here, session volume point of control right here, 19,500 level of interest, VWAP right down there as well. More churn. Noting that volume for time of day is very, very low, well below average. Russell into session highs, YM pressing the highs, ES just some churn between prior day high and overnight high, NQ trying to push higher, trying to break this little structure here. There's your 50% intraday fib. That looks better. See if NQ can make a high here, bumping into that prior day high again, just overhead, 63. There you go. It's a nice push. Coming into the session high. It'll have a neutral bullish backdrop. Can we get the new high of day here? Almost. Just shy of the highs. Looking for a break of 575. There's your new high of day. I'm going to tighten up that trail. Go about 560-ish, just beneath the prior day high. Try and ride. Just try and ride it. Coming into 600, just shy of the 600. I'll let them have it there. Yeah, it's time to raise that trail. We're getting close to the target. Just going prior bar low on the micro time frame here. Just shy of target. Come on. Push. All right, there it is. I am out. Blocked it all. Not bad. Start your morning with 100 points. Nicely done, Des. Nicely done. Nicely done. We love levels of interest. Love those levels of interest. Neutral bullish backdrop. Session volume point of control there. VWAP right there. Yeah, that was a beauty. Nicely done. NQ pressing the highs here. Nice work, Des. So we'll keep an eye on the 19600. Timmy, nice work. Congrats, man. New funded trader alert. Shout out to Timmy. Let's see how this 600 gets treated up here. What do we have? Some news right there. NQ back in an overnight high. Looks like a little tape bomb. Tape La Bamba. So this should get more interesting now. NQ coming into that 50% fib. Got the overnight high right there. Prior day high right in that area. Trailed you, Chrissy? That's why it's good to keep those trails in. That's why you want those trails in right there. We got about 8 minutes. 8 minutes till 10 a.m. No data. Got ES back into that overnight high as well. What was that? Some newsprint? Let's see. Yeah, we got some central bankers speaking, European Central Bank chatter. Some chatter out of the ECB. This may be a wait till 10 a.m. kind of situation here after that big ripper, that big 100-point zipper. Wouldn't mind seeing some action back above the overnight high. Because if this area fails right through here, I'm probably looking at a retest down into 500. Four trades already this morning? I haven't seen four setups. May need to slow down a little bit. Take it slow. Take it slow. Slow and steady. Getting into that session volume point of control. So like I mentioned, if that area fails, probably revisit the 500. Patience, 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 patience. Got 10 a.m. here in 4 minutes. There's 500, just about into 500 again. So let's see if buyers want to defend this area. If not, we'll be looking at overnight low more than likely. Then you got the larger 350 that comes into play. ES making a new low of day. NQ is that not quite a new low yet. There's your new low. So I'd be interested in overnight low, seeing the reaction there, or a reclaim of the 500 with market structure. Till then, it's cashed out. Don't need this fib anymore. Do have a little bit of overnight structure through here. Not levels that I personally utilize. Overnight low 392. NQ, no man's land. Extended hours value area low. It's right through here, but nothing I would set risk against personally. There's 10 a.m. for you. Still got some chatter from the ECB. FYI, it's ongoing. Good volume coming in here. Very good volume. So far, it was just an inside day. Little look above the prior day high, but most of the session here so far is within that prior day's range. And 350 is the major higher time frame structural level to be keeping an eye on. Five-minute hammer potentially in the works there. Let's bring that fib back. Intraday fib. There's your shallow fib. All right, coming back in a 500 and VWAP. Let's see the reaction here to this level of interest. It's been a one and done morning so far. Bumping into 500. That's the main watch right now. Got that big relative volume bar mark the low. Gotta love some exhaustion volume. Gotta love it. Little churn here near the 500. See if we get some actual structure to work with. Yeah, seller's reloading right there. Little reloader. Right at the 38% fib as well. There you go. That looks better. That looks better. Let's see. See how the structure builds out. A little more churn here. Stay patient. Stay patient. Buyers trying to push higher there. %50 fib just overhead. 528, 19528. Volume really coming out of the market again. Slowing down quite a bit. So Friday, you have that end of day structure. Price still kind of hanging out there. A little compression, a little bit of compression so far. It's got more churn in this area. So far, easiest and cleanest play, definitely the 500 long right through here. For a short, I don't really see an entry through there. You could make the case for this right through here, a little reject of the overnight high. If you're looking at micro time frame. And then for this down here, we talked about value area low. Not an area that I'll personally set risk against, but so far that has marked the low. Now it's a matter of patience. 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 See if we still have the ECB going. Looks like it. Still got that European central bank chatter ongoing. Definitely causing the tape to be a little jittery here. That's what ignited this sell. Looking over at ES, just have a little bit of churn, a little bit of consolidation between, looks like 55.50 and prior day high. So not much to do there either. And Q, we'll see how this barcode resolves. Chrissy, you trading the microstructure there? 5-second enjoyer. 5-second surfer. Micro high or low. Micro high or low, he says. Look at this volume. My goodness. That's a typical Monday for you. More barcode, more barcode. We've got like 15 minutes here. Straight barcode. 4 hour believer. 4 hour. 4 hour. 4 hour. What is Chrissy talking about? Probably this candle right here. Probably that candle. Rodrigo, what's up, man? Did you get all moved? Y'all settled? Beach life from now on. There we go. Love that. Heck yeah. All right. We're gonna give it like 9, 10 more minutes here. Max. This is brutal. This is brutal. Straight churn. Churn with no volume either. There you go. See if that structure finally breaks. See if sellers can do it here. Give a retest of the session low is what they're shooting for. And they failed. And they failed. So a little spring setup for you on that microstructure. Chrissy, man. This guy will trade anything. Oh boy. There you go. Buyers stepping in now. There they go. Oh, your cash? All right, all right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, those setups I don't love when they're beneath beneath the level. Not my favorite. And that push just gets absolutely stuffed. Right back into the structure. I'll give this morning probably 5 more minutes at best. See if we could get an entry. Otherwise, just gonna call it. Call it with the one and done. The 15. Yeah, it looks all right. It's just expectations for today are for an inside day. So, and then volume right now is just so low. Look at the 5 minute also. Like, do I want to continue to press on a day I have low expectations for, or just take my 100 points, you know? Especially with how low volume is. I mean, it's well below average. It's well below average. It's not even average. So, got the 100 points on a combine. Nice. Very nice. Let's see the open of this next 30-minute bar, then make a determination. There's sellers again. They're looking for the session low here. They are looking for that session low. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it right there. I'd like to see. I'll watch any reaction into overnight low, but I'm most interested in 350 or a break of this structure with maybe a retest of the 500 then. But it's Monday. It's a low volume Monday, so we'll call it right there. One and done this morning. Hope you guys had a decent morning. No number of you caught that long, so it was looking pretty good. If you have any questions, we'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank here. But otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Take care.